Peace and love. Peace and love.
Episode 206 of the Blathering Live. I'm Ken Knapsack. I'm glad you're here. Shout out to the earliers. The earliest, the early birds, the blather earlies. I don't know what to call you, but those who check in at the beginning of the stream. There's no shade against people who join later. I don't care when you get on the train. Just get in here. We're having some fun, talking politics, nudes. Nudes? Yeah, actually, today we are going to be talking nudes. Talking politics, news, food, sports. Should Roger Clemens... The question isn't, should Roger Clemens be voted into the Hall of Fame? Should he be forced to be placed right in the center of the Hall of Fame? We'll talk all of it here today. Coop's here, Tully's here, Brian Jackson, Mr. McClunky, Kingsport Cal, Brennan Marr. As Vetnick says, Freudian slip. Yeah, nude's been on my mind, I guess. It's all that smooching talk in Star Wars that we did on Force Center this morning. Good times. Matthew's here. News with nudes. We must in Europe. Must be in Europe, he says. I like that. If you got something you want to say, you got something you want to say, you can call into the show here. Become a YouTube channel member or a Patreon supporter. Patreon.com/KenNapsuck. On the Patreon page, 2 videos dropped last night. We had the regular Monday morning show video version there, but that's also here on YouTube. But exclusive to Patreon, I didn't plan it. I'm not saying it's going to be a regular thing. And you know how hard it is sometimes for me to, that Young Guns 2 watch along is going to happen in 2028. But I did a BTS video. I just happened to have my camera was set up over on this side. I was like, well, all right. What if I just pressed record? Was it grade A content? No, it was C-level content at best. But you got to see my beard from a different angle. I think that's the value. Everyone's here. Rads is here. Will McClain is here with right out of the gate with a pro wrestling question. Did you see that stuff with Rampage Jackson's son at Knox Pro Indie Wrestling over the weekend? Scary stuff indeed. And it looks like the wrestler Stu, who I don't know him personally, but a lot of people I know him from the indie wrestling scene. Long story short, there was a work shoot angle before the show that they put on a live stream where the guy Stu hit Rampage Jackson's son in the head with like a beer can, and it was played as real. It might have been a little real. That's kind of how wrestling goes. And then they planned a spot at a run-in or a post-match spot where Rampage's son, I forget his name, doesn't matter. He gets in the ring. He's about 25, 26. He's obviously very strong, very athletic, has his father's fighting skills. I think he's more on the MMA side, maybe in and out of wrestling. He gets in the ring and beats the fuck out of Stu, like essentially nearly kills him, right? But that was the thought. But Stu's doing okay. So it's been kind of crazy. And that's kind of the dark side of wrestling. It's also kind of the dark side of what wrestlers and wrestling promotions feel they need to do to get attention in this work shoot kind of angle. And a lot of people take it too seriously. I don't know any more of the situation, so I'm not commenting as an insider, just as someone who watched this weekend. Guy flatline for a moment, says Alan Smithy. All right, so there you go. We addressed that. Some darkness there, top. We got calls coming in tonight from Jared, Brennan Marr, Addie. Addie's working on some special science for Thursday, I think. She's got graphics. Coming. Some of the stuff on the docket tonight, we're going to talk. We'll get producer Steve in here to run down some of the news with me. Steve's actually got his own research. He's just asking questions. Steve is just asking questions tonight, but he's got some great research as we talk about Dr. Pepper buying Pete's Coffee. We got a Fuck This Guy segment, minor edition with Snoop Dogg. It's tragically comical about Snoop Dogg and his comments about how he didn't. What am I supposed to say to my grandson when there's two lesbians on screen and they have I can't, how am I supposed to explain that, says Snoop Dogg. We'll talk about that here in a second. We have National Guard perhaps heading into Chicago, into Illinois. I thought was a great press conference today with a bunch of leaders in Illinois. led, of course, by Governor J.B. Pritzker, that a lot of people are talking about. There was some, I wish I wrote down, I was watching this over lunch and was watching some of the speakers that were just spitting fire. And I've seen some what I think is correct analysis on, what Gavin Newsom's doing for the lulls versus this as being sort of actual leadership, talking about policy. And that they did a really good job at the press conference, not just J.B. Pritzker, but even to a better degree, the people that came after him, speaking about like the damaging policies, the actual crime stats, our tax dollars should be going into the community, all those kind of things. It's a hot button issue there. Of course, crime. But I still say, don't worry too much about Newsom. Don't worry. And if he's obviously selling out the trans community, he's obviously doing, the stuff with the homeless thing I've spoken on before of like a lot of people I know love what he did. I don't necessarily think it's right. I don't think it's the way to solve it. But let that rabid sociopath dog fight. Let that thing happen, and then let's elevate these actual leaders who are out there speaking true, clear words about policy. I thought it was a really good press conference today, so we will talk to producer Steve about that. I just put a lot of pressure on producer Steve to make it all make sense because I'm just this dumb idiot there. We'll also, as I said, talk about Roger Clemens. But also silly things tonight. Part of the reason we're here every week, 3 times a week, is to just kind of take a breath from the world and hang out as part of the community here. So get on in here. And I want to acknowledge the super sticker that came in. This is tremendously generous from the Cali Kid. Cali Kid didn't even ask a question. Cali Kid, you get free questions the rest of the night. Okay, everyone gets free questions, but you get free questions. How about the rest of the year? You get free questions. Come on in here. I really appreciate that. It's like all of us. It's been we're getting through it here, which is part of what we're going to be talking about with Dr. Pepper. All right, I think that sets up the show. I'm so as a broadcaster, I'm so excited to set up the show because it's just fun to broadcast. It's fun to go, welcome to SportsCenter. Tonight on the show, the Milwaukee Brewers have won 3 straight. Are you excited? I just love doing it. So let's bring in producer Steve to talk about setting up the show. Steve, you know what I mean? I just love starting shows.
Yeah, that's why I'm here 10 minutes early every day, Ken. That's why I did a 5-hour stream the other day, or 2 5-hour streams in the last week and a half, because, I just like talking into microphones. And, the first 10 minutes are really, you're just chasing that. You're chasing the dragon. You're chasing the high of those first 10 minutes, really the whole rest of the way.
I just want to set the tone, man. That's what I miss about broadcasting at large, And Cali Kid says, I love you, Kid. Yeah, Cali Kid. Which, by the way, Cali Kids, that's just a great nickname for someone who rode with Billy the Kid. I love you too. Thank you for indulging me, Steve, on the broadcasting side. The stream, the Blathering backstage, I just love. I'll check in every now and then. I don't like to comment because even though it's a channel, I'll say I executive produce. It's basically the community's channel right now, and so sometimes I feel like I'll step in and it's like the lights are on and all of you scatter because Dad's home. That's not fair.
Yeah. Everyone gets up like I push my glasses up. I sit up straight. I'm like, oh shit! Everyone like looks around. It's like Ken's here. Yeah. No, scatter is a great euphemism for it. We all just kind of look around, but no, it's always very exciting when you show up. I have gotten a lot of like what Cooper's saying is people are enjoying the stream and they keep falling asleep to it. So that's fine. I mean, when I go for 5 hours, I'm not expecting anyone to actually be there that whole time. So if my raspy voice and the sounds of Zelda put you to sleep, then all to it.
You are countdown to a couple weeks here on adding to your roster at home there. You're adding someone to the practice squad, and so you got to get these games in here.
Yep, signing an undrafted free agent. Well, we'll see. I guess that kind of depends on the delivery, right? If they're an undrafted free agent or if they're drafted, I don't know. We'll let you know afterwards. We don't get too icky. But yeah, that is the situation. My goal is to beat my favorite game as a child before I have my first son. And I kind of came to a conclusion during my last stream that there was an emotional connection there, and that's why I was doing it. And I had a little bit of like a 30-second existential crisis, probably somewhere around the 3-hour mark. If you guys want to check that out, so yeah, have fun.
Did you say it out loud? Were you just kind of?
Oh yeah, I was just thinking out loud. Yep.
And then I kind of love that. I'm gonna go check that out. I'm gonna go check that out there. That's amazing. I love the realizations. One of my favorite things doing Force Center over the years is just be talking with Joseph and Jennifer. Joseph says something so insightful or smart. It's a lot of often about themes or personal themes, and you'll sometimes hear or see me just go like, That's why I feel that way, and it just gets really exciting. It gets really exciting. Yeah, okay. The big headline. This is the problem with the day and anything. When it comes to news, the headline that gets you up in the morning, like what we can't burn flags, is like 19 hours old by the time lunch happens. But we got this silly executive order. Again, executive orders are not laws. At this point, I don't even know what they are, but we got this whole how would you describe it, Steve? This whole our flag kind of mentality that just I find comical.
To me, Ken, this is just another way for Trump to placate the optics base of, oh man, there's people all around the world burning flags, right? I think a lot of this comes down to a lot of boomer conservatives see people in other countries burning American flags and protest for this, that, and the other reason, whether we bombed the shit out of their country or did something else wrong or whatever, or they just don't like us for any other reason.
Or we took their land.
Right, exactly, right. And so then they see college kids doing it, or they see demonstrations happening here in the last few years, whether it was from Trump 1, whether it was from the summers of protesting we've seen since COVID, what have you. This is just another marble in the bucket of, see, look, he's doing something about those damn flag burners, those unpatriotic young people. That's what this sounds and smells like to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I go to one of the most famous moments in baseball history. Do you know do you know the moment I'm going to go to? I think it's from 1968. I'll look that up. No, maybe it's a little later. Rick Monday, who eventually would play for the Dodgers, but this was at Dodger Stadium before 1976. Sorry, a little later. I think Monday came into the game. It's on this day in history, 1976. Not today, but just in general. Cubs outfielder, then for the Cubs, eventually for the Dodgers, saved the American flag from 2 protesters who run on the field at Dodger Stadium. Now, again, do I suggest running onto fields? Oh, we have a follow-up a little bit with the kid at Petco Park. Do I condone running onto fields? No, it can be a little unsafe. But I don't. As a young kid in the 80s and a sports kid, eventually, I wasn't initially a sports fan, I was taught about this moment as if it was up there with the flag on Iwo Jima, the winning of the Civil War, where it was like, do you remember when Rick Monday risked his life on the ball field to take that flag away from those protesters before they burned it? Do you remember? And then now you look back like, I don't even know what they were protesting because it was just such framed as those damn dirty kids burning America. And that's the kind of attitude that I think you're right. They carry into, and that what Trump and his administration play to.
Right. And yes, you're exactly right that this being an executive order, it doesn't make it a law necessarily. This just coerces prosecutors into making cases for these things that they will eventually we would think lose in federal court, because there are several precedents for this. The most recently, I think, was set in the 80s, that saying the Supreme Court saying, yes, you can burn flags, blah, blah, blah. First of all, you're supposed to retire flags by burning them. And second of all, Addie makes a great point in the chat. Well, are we also, according to, flag code, which I'm sorry, that the flag code is also like the unwritten rules of baseball. I just don't care. I'm sorry if that's a hot take. But respect the flag. We don't need a Bible for it. But Addie makes a great point that there is people wearing the flag, that's against the flag code too. Are we going to make that prosecutable offense as well? Because I've seen people on pictures of that Trump boat parade, Ken, wearing the American flag. That was way more offensive than burning it in a parking lot.
These nutbags are probably selling American flag condoms, and have the audacity to talk about. I remember as a kid, and my friend Joel's here, a lifelong Dodger fan, who says, "Yeah, once a year we have to hear about Rick Monday's heroics." And I love, rest in peace, Vin Scully, but I'm almost glad we didn't know too much about Vin's politics over the years. But he's an old spun, yarned kind of old school guy. But every Rick Monday saved the flag. It just really goes. But yeah, and this is part of my frustration with what's going on these days. And I saw some other people talk about it in a way more smarter way than I. You could keep up, I wouldn't. But it's just like, we for years tried to, for the last few years, we try to fight with facts, right, or policy ideas. and as if we're going to educate, right? Like, hey, have you considered this? And it's like, yeah, they have. They don't care. They just want to put on an American flag condom and go down a boat or a Cybertruck and flying this stuff high and proud. They like what's being said. They like what's being done. And that's maybe where the battlefield actually is.
It's always the Cybertruck. Nobody in this audience owns a Cybertruck. I can absolutely promise you that.
And if you do, I don't assume. I'm not going to burn your truck. I'm not going to burn your truck. But at this point, and we've talked about it before, I have some good friends, good people in my life who do have Teslas that are kind of stuck with them right now. Because also, I don't even know if I can get good resale value on some of the Legos I'm going to need to sell to get food this month. And I don't know what a car selling a Tesla is going to be like. They're closing. I really sound like an old timer in a village. They're closing the Tesla shop. The Burbank Tesla dealership is like going out of business.
Wow. I've seen several stickers around here where I live on people's back of their Teslas where they've either where they've even just got rid of the Tesla logo and just made it like a Mazda logo, because I guess that's the easiest one to make out of the Tesla logo. And I've seen the bumper stickers that say, hey, I bought this before Elon was a fascist. So there's some people that are just trying to get out in front of it. So it's like, I get it. It's, $70,000 investment. You got to make, I wouldn't. And plus the market kind of low, not exactly a seller's market for Teslas right now. So
no. Joel adds, who is Canadian from Red Deer, Alberta. I burn a Canadian flag every morning with my coffee. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and Addie's point about the flag code. I do remember the push. Maybe late 80s. I don't know, when there was that big push. What you're talking about, the Supreme Court. I remember I was an active young adult, aware of the world, but not in a complete sense. And it was like, who would want to burn the flag? And then I learned that in order to get rid of flags, you burn them. And I was like, well, what are we doing here? Just at like 11, like, this doesn't make sense.
I love little Ken voice.
Well, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. I agree with Alan Smithy. David Bowie is my Tesla, and quite literally in a movie. There you go. All right. So, did you get a chance to watch it? You have a life and a job. I fed 3 squirrels today. Did you see any of the press conference with J.B. Pritzker and the Illinois team?
I did. I saw some highlights of it. I usually try to catch up on the news and stuff either in the morning after baby time or at lunch. And so I did watch a little bit of the Pritzker conference. The biggest takeaway for me was that we have someone at his level that isn't Newsom, who's doing like kind of the opposite troll game, which is fine. That's one side of the playbook. But Pritzker is out here saying like, this dude's unfit for office. We have a sitting governor saying this guy is not fit for office. Yeah. And then I thought it was adorable that Wes Moore, the governor from Maryland, kind of did a similar thing where he invited Trump to, hey, come walk around the streets of Baltimore with me, and made like a, hey, I'm sure you could use the cardio kind of joke, or saying I don't think Trump could keep up with me walking around, because Ken, last week we talked about, and I'm so glad I didn't spend the money to do a live report in DC, because we thought Trump was going to be live patrolling the streets of DC, the mean streets of DC, and enacting his law and order, when it turns out all he really did was just deliver fast food to some National Guard troops. So
I love it's. I'm laughing because the world's ending. I love his continued obsession with fast food. Like it's almost at a dangerous line where I almost admire it. Where he brings college championship football teams to the White House for McDonald's. I'm like, that's probably almost the reason he wins, right? Like, it's almost too good. But I also love him being the picture of health for the Make America Healthy Again crowd. And it's all about fast food, burgers, and pizza.
Yeah, that goes back to what you said 5 minutes ago, Ken. A lot of this is about common language. Like, people don't necessarily care about facts. They care about hearing things they can understand, things that they can relate to, things that they can talk about, things that they can level with you on. So I think it's our job as progressives. I'm saying our as a big woof there. But people on the left, it's their job to package the information in common sense ways. And so Gavin Newsom has started to write that playbook in the very, very extreme way of it. Pritzker is doing that, I think, on a more leveled tone of it, but I still think you need to find the middle ground between where Pritzker is and Newsom is, but I think you have to kind of lean towards Newsom right now. Not in him, but like in that approach.
Yeah. Again,
how we're doing messaging.
I've talked about it on Anytime. We'll continue to talk about it anytime. Like, I want to make clear, like, there's some things that Newsom has done that I know is and sad that our lines bridge too far for some folks. And I really get it and respect it and I agree with you. And I don't want this man to be my president either. I'm just saying we have a rabid attack dog. Don't overthink it right now. And I think you're right. I think it's more effective. That shot going around of a truck with Newsom stickers and Newsom flags was one of my favorite things. Yeah.
No, it's that Trump's stopped tweeting in all caps. It's clearly gotten under their skin a little bit. You know, Caroline Leavitt has struggled to answer some of the questions about this kind of stuff without sounding like a complete hypocrite. But I'm with you. I totally understand the faults of Newsom. I'm not saying he's like this choir boy and that. He continues to say stupid shit about a lot of important issues. And but you're right. You have a rabid attack dog. You have a guy who's willing to kind of get dirty and get into the trenches. Let them fight, as they say in Godzilla. Like, let them do it. Just get at it. You got 2 years to get not even. You have a year and a half to get ready for this election. Hopefully that we're gonna have. Yeah. There's
while we're speaking of it, there's I know Mark Maron's been doing the big pod tour and ruffling feathers in the comedy world, which is a good thing. I do recommend, and I want to make clear, I'm not standing. This is a show that some people absolutely hate. It's like Sabrina Carpenter. I don't have a dog in this fight. Yes or no? She can go do her thing, and I'll listen to a song if I want to. Pod Save America. They have a lot of their shows. I'm not here for the Pod Save America debate, but they had a show with Mark Maron on the other day, and the interview kind of broke down, got a little silly in the end, but there was some spectacular stuff. I think Mark Maron's one of the smartest people out there who's talking a lot about what we're talking about here and how this all happened and how it's all related and even related to shitty crowd work. It was pretty good. So recommend that. But you were going to educate me here on the Dr. Pepper buys Pete's coffee.
Yes.
What do we got?
Yes. So everyone, this is come with producer Steve on a journey that I have embarked on myself.
Come sail away.
This is my kind of conspiracy theory, Ken. I'm going to flat out say it. This is the canary. I think coffee is the canary in the tariff coal mine. What happened today was Dr. Pepper, who I believe is also in league with Keurig, Keurig, not Katie Couric.
Keurig. Okay.
Keurig, the coffee people. They bought Pete's Coffee. And this is a big deal, Ken, because we are consolidating people who own and make huge portions of the commercial coffee in this country. You'd think, Pete's Coffee, Starbucks is so much bigger than everybody else. This is still a significant deal because of Dr. Pepper being the one that's buying it. More importantly, the reason why this is important and the reason why I think you look at your receipt and your prices when you're looking at coffee over the next few weeks, and if you can compare it to when you go on your app and look at what you paid for coffee a few months ago. Coffee prices went up 3.5% in just the month from June to July alone. They went up 2.5% in 2024 alone. So we saw an increase in 1 month more than what we saw in all of 2024. And this is not only the shit that's going on with droughts and supply chain issues, but these are directly correlated with tariffs. We have a 50% tariff on Brazil, Ken. We get 17% of our coffee from Brazil, 17% of our coffee from Colombia, and the rest of it a whole bunch of other places. So this is a direct reason why your coffee has gotten more expensive. And the reason why for that 50% tariff on Brazil, Ken, this isn't the 10% tariff you've seen everywhere else on every other country like Europe and everything. We have a 50% tariff on Brazil simply because Trump is pissed that they are investigating their corrupt ex-president for everything under the sun. That's why your coffee is more expensive, literally because of crony oligarchyism.
Yeah, we are run by a troll. We're run by a troll, and they being those that are still following along. It frustrates me to no end. Again, I think they're like, yay, and then when they look at that receipt, I mean, I can make the joke that they'll blame Biden, but it's frustrating. I was talking to you. I did go get ice cream last night. For anyone who was watching the BTS clip I put up on Patreon, I did go get ice cream. I walked down to 7-Eleven. I didn't go to the homemade, custom-made ice cream shop. I went to my 7-Eleven. I got one of those ice cream things. $8.99. $8.99. That used to be a dinner. I mean, the ice cream was the dinner. But and this is that effect. This is what's going on, and it'll traces this kind of stuff. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I asked, and you answered. You gave me the information, but valuable stuff. What would you say in 2 months? 3%?
In 1 month. In 1 month, it
One
went up
month.
3.5%. From the beginning of June to July, it went up 3.5%, and it went up 2.5% all of last year.
Okay. And it's only.
How is
Only
Tim
worse.
Starbucks not on the phone with Trump? Like, what the hell? Like, what are we doing? I get so many of my coffee beans from Brazil. Why are you doing this?
Yeah. I don't know. They gotta show up and bring him. They gotta bring him like trophies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
South
I guess
Park
so.
episode.
Yeah, right, exactly. They haven't brought enough tribute. I thought the Starbucks guy got in early. I don't know.
I don't know. This is why I go to my outlet store and I get my ground coffee. I don't like to do the beans. I can't do the beans. I don't have the patience for the beans.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
All right, that's kind of a news update. Oh, a little bit of fuck this guy with Snoop Dogg. It's Snoop Dogg. This is Snoop Dogg. Now, Steve, you're a little younger than me, but I grew up in an era where when Snoop Dogg arrived on the scene, he brought with him danger. He brought with him sex. He brought with him drugs and things my parents didn't approve of, even though I was a little bit older. He's always been dangerous. He definitely over the years has morphed into more of a character. No problem with that. I've been on board with the Snoop brand. But over this last election cycle, he kind of unveiled a little bit more who he is, a little bit what's going on. But this is something he said this weekend regarding he was on a podcast. He went to see 2002's Lightyear, Disney's Lightyear. And he said that, in the movie, apparently, I haven't seen it there was a same-sex couple, two women, and they had a baby. And he said, a whole bunch, his grandson had a whole bunch of questions. And then he said, I don't have an answer for it. They're like, she had a baby with another woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie is like, Papa Snoop. Okay. How's she have a baby with a woman? She's a woman. And he couldn't explain that, didn't want to explain it. And he said that, oh, shit, I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, just watch the movie. But they just kept firing the questions. My grandkids kept firing the questions. They just said, she had a baby. They're both women. How does she have a baby? It fucked me up. I'm like scared to go to the movies now. Scared to go to the movies. Y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for. It threw me for a loop. And so therefore, Steve, Snoop Dogg just thinks queer representation in film has got to go. I can't wrap my head around the abject fear he's experiencing.
If you have abject fear going to the movies, do you lose your street cred? Like, do we need to take Snoop Dogg's like street cred card away? Like,
Right.
He's giving it up at that point. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if you can't even go to the movies because you're afraid that two animated characters may feel a certain way for each other, it's not like this is. I don't even want to. Snoop, I will give you sympathy for having to explain things to your grandson when you give me sympathy for having to explain your songs on the radio to my grandparents.
Touche. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Oh, I got to switch something here. Hold on. Here we go. Can you hear that echo?
I don't hear an echo at all. Hey, everybody. This is producer Steve.
Okay, I'm in.
Okay.
All right, I switched studios. That sound was happening again, Steve.
I didn't want to say it. I saw your face getting a little red, and I was like, okay. But we know the trick now, right? So I think, are we good?
Should be good. All right. Should be
Sounds
good.
good. Sounds
Also,
good so far.
one of the reasons I'm getting a little red is I'm sitting on an ice pack, and it is 96%. 96 degrees. Nope, there's that sound again.
There it is. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I just got to fix you and me. Got to fix these drivers on this computer.
Okay. We'll do it.
Yeah, big Sean McCabe says producer Steve gets points for that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and again, it's fear thing. We got this thing going on with crime, and a friend of the show, though he doesn't really I don't know if he's called in. He's a Force Center fan. I've met him. Andrew is his name, and he posted something on Facebook that was really a smart thing, and it's kind of what I talk about sometimes when I say like, hey, crime is real. Crime's a real thing, but so I'm not gonna. I don't want to mock anyone who thinks that downtown LA has crime. I've said that. I've said it on Force Center. I'm worried about Star Wars Celebration 2027. There's a lot of crime there. That's a reality of a big city. It's a reality of any kind of situation you might find yourself in a big city. And we see what's going on in DC. We know the crime numbers are down from 2023, but they're up from like 2013, 2014 range. We get it. We understand that there's actual crime in Chicago, but there's so many other reasons for it. And there's so many ways to try to fix it in other cities that have proven through policies and programs that you can kind of address it. And they've even addressed in Chicago, part of the press conference today. But it's this this playing into the fear that works so well. I guess it's just base level with humans all around. We all have our kind of fears, and I understand where that comes from. But my friend Andrew was saying it's time to just ask. Okay, got it. Well, I understand that there's crime in a downtown area. Is this the answer? Make them answer that. Is this the answer long term? Not just 1 week, 2 weeks, a month, while these bored, for the most part, weaponless National Guards folks are walking around the cities. Is this the long-term answer? I don't know if they care, again, going to what I said early, but that's kind of my approach to some of it now.
No, and I think there's to me, this worries me for two different reasons, Ken. One is part of me kind of, to bring this back, to joke about this for just a second. Part of me thinks that someone
always joke about it.
Someone tells me someone showed Andor to Stephen Miller, but just the part where Luthen was like, we have to do all this terrible shit until like the Empire like really crushes us, kind of a thing. And Stephen Miller was like, yes, that's what we need. That's what we need, but just the wrong way, basically, right? So he's like, okay, we're just going to piss these people off so much until they break, and then we can inhibit martial law, right? Like, that's like the big, QAnon version of the left, kind of like thinking like, okay, this is the end game, right? They just want to print us down until they can impose martial law and rule over all of us, right? So that's the part of my brain that scares me. The other thing is they look at places like DC, they look at places like Chicago, they look at other downtown areas that have crime issues. All of this, I can talk about this forever, Ken. We need to like actually have set aside time to have these like intellectual conversations, because I have some juice for this. But at the end of the day,
you want me to be in these smart talks?
Yes, because this is how we get. Ken, this is part of it, because messaging and common language is how we get these messages across, especially in the circles that we like to say that we have an audience with, that you have an audience with, and that I tag along to. These are socioeconomic issues, dude. You give people money, you fix these problems. The problem is the people in charge hate everything about giving people money that don't already have money. They're totally fine with giving money to people who have money, because those people have earned that money. So much of this comes back to prosperity gospel and the idea that your value, your worth is tied to your direct ability to create capital. And so if you have this is why they talk about why we can't have high tax brackets, Ken, because we're going to push the innovation out of the country, because their whole dogma is your ability to create capital makes you valuable. And so if you create all this capital, we can't tax you because you're going to run away and not want to create more capital. And so that's why you see in areas that struggle socioeconomically, that can't get out of these cycles of, you don't even want to say poverty, you just want to say lack of opportunity, because you have systematic institutions that have been in place for 70 years that limit opportunity for people that don't already have capital. I'm done. I'm sorry.
No, continue. Absolutely right. This is, you talk about the messaging, right? It's what I talked about in my hometown. There is a emerging problem of unhoused people. You see them more, you feel it. And then when low income housing is proposed, they had to move it out of City Hall because too many people wanted to show up to make sure that there wasn't any low-income housing in their neighborhood. But these are the same people complaining about the rise in homelessness. And how do you connect those dots? Absolutely. How do you connect those dots? And yes, are you earning? Have you pulled yourself up from the bootstraps with the shoestrings that your parents gave you that you already had?
Or have you had Will Kane push your booty up while you're trying to do those pull-ups, as we saw Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy do?
Sean Duffy, he got about 3 assisted pull-ups in.
From the apprentice of Tucker Carlson.
Brennan Barr had a great comment. We're going back to the Snoop Dogg thing. Brennan says, aren't people going to be afraid now to ask my family any questions because my sister, who's adopted from China, doesn't look like us? Is Snoop Dogg going to be afraid to ask?
Uh-oh. We got a buzz. That sounded like something unplugged.
Okay.
There you go. You're back.
Man, see, I'm telling you, it might just be a USB cable issue, which we're not going to deal with right now. What a time. What a time to be alive. What a time. I don't know how much you heard, but yes.
No, it's all good. We're good.
Absolutely. All right. Before we got Jared, we got Brennan, we got Addie. I do want to catch up. You guys have been really generous with Super Chats tonight. I I really appreciate it. I know sometimes I'm drawn from the compassion from a small group of people to keep this show afloat, but I really appreciate it. Again, shout out to Cali Kid with the very generous super sticker. Addy saying for the watch. Jared saying for the watch. Kingsport Cal saying for the goal, which I like a little bit better because for the watch means like you're all going to stab me in the courtyard. Rain delay money for Addy. From Addy. You're going to make me sound so white, Brady. Por la Guardia? Por la Guardia. Okay. And then Tully said, keep the Skyline Chili in containment. There's a lot of stuff going on with Skyline Chili on the Discord, I've noticed. There is, and I can't say I have a ton of opinions on Skyline Chili. That's not exactly my forte, but I mean, again, love is love. If you like your chili, you do your thing. You enjoy your chili. I do want to try it. I mean, I'm up for all kinds of chili. Malcolm with a question for both of us here. Says, hey, Ken, hope the week's got off to a good start. Question for both of you, since Ken is the host of this almost late night show. I like that. Almost late night show. That's correct. Is Steve more of an Ed McMahon, Paul Schaefer, or some third option? Yeah. Are you our Questlove? I like the idea of Questlove. I mean, my hair is part of my character, so yeah. You're definitely, if anything, you're more of an Andy Richter with an elevated presence. Oh, with that, and that's not just. I love Andy Richter. I've met him a few times. He's great. But he was more of the snarky sidekick. You're the meat in our soup, in our stew here. Okay. And I'm the bowl. I can go with that. I can go with that. Holding on as best as my technical. I mean, here's the thing. It does regarding and some of you say you can't hear what's going on with my mics. It's not the mics. Every time I try to speak, Steve, it pops. So what does that tell us? You're a computer doctor. So and it's not every time is what's weird, because if it is every single time, then that's a level of consistency that points to hardware, points to something we can very easily replicate. It pops at the very end of your sentences, and several people have said on the stream on the YouTube side they don't hear much, or even Brady says I hear some pops. So maybe in StreamYard it's worse than actually on YouTube, hopefully. But the end of it makes me think maybe it's a wire thing. We can do some troubleshooting later. I got a couple ideas. I got some ideas. Getting through these super brothers here. My buddy Chris Kiefer. He said his comment is crush that goal. So now I'm thinking Crush Creefer is his name. Chris Kiefer, the greatest librarian in LA County, says crush that goal, Fab. Question. I won't get around to calling in to ask Steve, Ken, and Kingsport Cal go on a road trip. Where are they headed? Who is driving? And how much Dave Matthews are they listening to? All right. So this is either the greatest. This is the greatest show we should put together and pitch to like Netflix. You, me, and Kingsport Cal on a road trip. Where are we going? First of all, I'm driving. Oh, wow. Okay. I'm the driver. I'm just always the driver, no matter what it is, whether it's real life, video games. I'm always the not designated driver, because I'm not that. But in this scenario, we know, Steve. I would be the driver. Okay. You just don't want me being the DD because I'm not like the fun, sober person when all of you guys are drunk. That's why you don't want me to be DD. Oh, I got you. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay. I respect that. I love driving. I'm into it, but I'm a good passenger. I'm actually a boring passenger. I could call up Mark Ellis right now. He and Josh McCouga would actually kind of make fun of me because on road trips for comedy shows, I just kind of drift off. Front seat, back seat, doesn't matter. I just drift off and I watch the scenery and I get into my own little weird head, and I just kind of, and they're like, okay, but what's the best backup quarterback in the NFC Central? And I'm out my window. So I'm a little boring. All right. So you're driving. Yeah. I think Cal's in the back seat. Yeah. Cal's in the back seat. Yeah, he's probably going to hotbox the thing every 4 to 5 hours, we have to imagine. So we got to, we can put the windows down, something like that, which is fine. Just make sure I'm sober enough to drive, Cal. And I think the level of Dave Matthews that we get to listen to, that's going to be wholly dependent on when I'm the only one awake, depending on how long this car ride is. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get much of that out of either of you. I'm pretty, like, you can put on whatever you want in the car, except country music. That's the only thing I can't do. I can't listen to country music. I mean, that's all. I like country, Western, alt country rock, but I'm not gonna. Yeah, you put on. Same thing. You put on whatever you want. Like Grace used to put on true crime podcasts, audiobooks, all that kind of stuff. That was fine for me. Like I didn't have in fact, she often. I listened to the My Favorite Murder book twice because every time she put it on. She fell asleep on trips. So I'm fine. I'm with that. Addie wants show tunes. That ain't happening. All right. So what was the oh shit, I think I erased the question. I can scroll back up. So we where are we going? That's the thing. I just think we're going nowhere.
Well, I mean, we're across. Well, I'm in the East Coast. Cal's in Tennessee. You're in California. So like, where would the three of us go as like a dust? Do you want to go camping with Cal? Let's go to like Yellowstone. Let's go to a national park and go sightseeing.
I can't prove this, but Steve, I was thinking that.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I think that would be you, me, and Cal at like Yosemite would be pretty great. You know what I mean? We get a picture with a buffalo. We go see a geyser or something. That would be pretty neat. And then we go on like a peyote trip with Cal in the woods at night.
I like this. I love this. Ken Plume wants the Blathering Across America van tour. James Holmes checking in for the UK. Hello there. Don't think I've ever heard a Dave Matthews song. I can take care of that right now. Just imagine that in cargo shorts and open-toed sandals. Okay. There you go. All right. Did I get through all of it there? Alan Smithy, thank you. Cash rules around me. Get the money. Dollar bill, y'all. There you go. I love that. And Jared, DS9 with the super chat. Dreams. Every kid, you can still have dreams. LQ says, don't pet the bison, which sounds like great advice, but also slightly off-putting and dirty.
She's not wrong, because someone got mauled or like hurt by a bison or a buffalo or something like somewhat recently at Yellowstone. I also heard that a bison fell into a geyser and like got like shot up out of it. Yeah.
Is it okay?
The internet might have gotten. No, Ken, he's not okay.
Okay.
He's not okay.
Poor little bison didn't know what he was doing.
I think there's a thing where like someone saw a bison and then
Like I'm upset about that frog that NASA killed.
Was it NASA? Frog?
There was like a rocket launch thing going, and there's like in the photo, there's a little frog.
Oh, he's like on the rocket, like in the webcam. Like,
and you literally see a shadow, and it's like a black, and I'm like, that poor frog was just living its life.
Oh,
you got to clear the frogs out, clear the bison out.
Oh no, that makes me think of like Spider-Man and Infinity War, where he's like going up with the thing. He's like, "Oh, I'll catch you, kid." He's like, Iron Man needs to get that frog a suit, so he jumps off the rocket. Yeah, that's so scary.
This is why I absolutely love Superman. Oh my gosh,
went a little robot there. You're back though.
It's really weird. Okay, I'm not going to switch studios again, but
it's okay.
All right. Let's take some calls here. I was starting to say, this is why I love Superman saving a squirrel. It's the best thing ever.
I thought of you. I finally saw Superman, Ken, and I thought of you when I saw. I was like, oh. Okay, I think I remember some talk of squirrels and Superman. Like, okay, I get the connection now, and that made me think of. I was like, oh, I'm sure Ken appreciated that.
It was my favorite moment. All right, let us go ahead and take a call here from Jared the TIE Pilot. First in on first to the breach here. Thanks for your money. I'll never watch Star Trek.
Hey, it might work. You never know. We'll catch you on that weird day. We got you on. We had momentum. They gave you a list of episodes. You were about it.
Yeah.
We just got to get back to there.
I played along, Jared. Played along. I'm not an asshole about it. And by the way, that is how it will happen. It will be it's how I plan haircuts, and a lot of men plan haircuts. Like, I'm going to go get a haircut now. That's how it will happen.
Oh, I'm even worse about it. I just shaved my own head.
Sounds good. What's your question?
Oh, no big question tonight. Just how are you, Ken? How's life?
That can't be your question. That can't be your question. No. I want a question, Jared. I want a question.
You want a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, is that your question? Dear God, I can't hear anything now. Okay. Steve will
Can you hear me?
I can hear you guys fine. I just keep cutting it out. This is pretty. It's got to be the cord. This has got to be the cord. All right. Anyways, I'm gonna move. We're not gonna have the meltdown. We're not gonna have the meltdown. What's your question?
Should MLB umpires have to do press conferences?
Is this part of you and Steve's ongoing campaign to shame Major League Baseball umpires into becoming robots?
Why am I always roped into these things?
Okay. No. Why? You want them to explain themselves? Is that what it is?
Yes. Be held accountable. They get paid a lot of money.
Do other sports leagues do this? Does NFL have press conferences? I'm asking honestly.
I've only ever seen the NFL referees give a press conference before the Super Bowl. That's it. Other than that, I don't think I've ever seen refs give a press conference. Maybe there's been some announcements from the ref union when there's been like something crazy's happened. But no, I mean, if we're going there, I want to see NFL referees at the guillotine before I see before baseball refs. I'm sorry, I meant the press conference. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Jared. No, I don't think they should. I don't because I don't feel I need to have. What are they going to explain? I thought he was out. I don't know what else are they going to say. What do you want from it? What do you want from them?
I don't know. The opportunity to throw a tomato.
That's what this is. Violence. It's about violence from a Boston Red Sox fan. That's what this is about.
I mean, hey, it is what it is.
I get it too, for the sense of a referee or an umpire makes a bad call. They get to kind of just run and hide. They don't have to face the music. I totally get it. That's why we appreciate the guy that blew Armando Galarraga's perfect game. He stood up and said, "I made a mistake." I think I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. See, all he had to. It doesn't always have to be a bad thing. The man can. Fuck up, and we can be like, okay, don't do it again, asshole. But okay.
See, and JB says we know Jared's into bullying, so that's something. All right, fair question. How's the punk rock going, Jared? Are you fighting the power from the musical stage?
Oh yeah, no, we're going good. We actually just got back photos today from the little photo shoot we had, so we're gonna be.
I saw that.
Yeah.
How fun is it? My question for you. How fun is it to take photos as a band? It was one of my favorite things. I was in a little comedy kind of band. It's fun. It's my favorite.
It is. No, it is. It is. It was just because a photographer was also a buddy of the bass player, so there was already good rapport there. So we had a ball walking around Plymouth, Massachusetts, taking pictures and finding fun graffiti.
Yeah.
Fuck certain type of people.
Strolling through the city, finding the right corner to be a rock star in. That's the dream. Steve, have you ever taken rock star photos?
Nope, not with my trumpet, Ken.
We're gonna get Steve in a ska band.
That's what I'm saying. You were born 10 years earlier, Steve. You're opening for the Mighty Mighty Bosstones on like the Warped Tour. You're having a great time.
I wish.
You're having a great time. All right, Jared, I appreciate the question. Appreciate you. We'll do some Game of Thrones Thursday. I believe I am ready. I watched the episode, so I know we're ready.
Yes, I did. Hey, I did too. That was good of us. It's something we should be doing.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, buddy, for calling in.
All right. You guys stay safe.
We will. Rolling some calls here. We got Brennan. We got Addie. If you want to call into the show, hey, just become a YouTube channel member or a Patreon supporter. And maybe with some of my super chats tonight, I'll buy a new USB cable that goes from the Rodecaster Pro 2 to this now aging laptop. I don't know, but I'm doing better, Steve. I'm not having the breakdown I had last week.
You are keeping your composure very well, Ken. I'm proud of you.
Literally, it's every time I open my mouth, I just hear pop, 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 pop. All right. Where are we? Brennan, Mr. Kumar. Brennan, how are you doing, buddy?
Good. DS9 is awesome.
I know you love DS9. I know a lot of people love DS9. I don't doubt that's a great show.
I'm going to convince you to watch it.
It's just not. You all have to understand. When I finally slow down at 9:00 at night after been editing video and been on air all day, the last thing I want to do is watch anything. I just play Fortnite and then fall asleep. I fell asleep at 2 a.m.
I'll try not to nag you about it on Wednesday.
Okay, yeah, all right. I'm popping onto your show Wednesday.
Yeah,
I'm going to be on Brendan's show.
You about it, I promise.
Jared says we got the numbers.
Though I am interested in Addie's call because I guess you watched Andor with Republican Dad.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes.
And I remember when the second season was coming out, there were some people who were saying they're never going to let that show air because it's too political.
Yeah, I heard some of that.
My response was that the powers that be, the current administration is too stupid to see what it's saying.
Or even if they do see, as Steve said earlier, they get the wrong message, almost to an intentional level. Steve, stall for a second. Would you agree with that, Steve?
Yes, I think Brennan makes a great point, and yeah, I think that's exactly the angle that they're going with there. They see the popular thing people talk about, and instead of actually getting the message, actually getting the point, and us all coming together in a kumbaya moment, they decide, oh no, we're going to use that to our advantage, screw everybody else, pull up that good old ladder behind us, and get in line.
Yeah, indeed. But what is on your mind today, Brennan? What is your question?
Well, the fact that DS9 is so interesting because it came out in the 90s. It came out before 9/11. And the political storytelling is frighteningly relevant.
It's just history repeating or history being in a straight line, right?
Everything that's happened since 9/11.
Absolutely. Absolutely is.
And it's weird just that it came out during a time when things were, I would say normal, but I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah, it came out in the, looking back, were the 90s normal? No, but it was definitely felt like it, especially compared to now.
Yeah, but it's definitely my favorite Star Trek show, I think.
Got it. Well, what's on your mind tonight? Let's not talk about DS9. What's on your mind? What's your question?
Do you think we take Star Wars too seriously?
Yes and no. And I think you need to take it less seriously, and also I think you need to take it all the way 100% seriously. That's what I love about it. It's similar to my feelings on even comedy. I think you should absolutely have just some simple, silly jokes, but also you have to realize this could sway minds, and so you have to treat it seriously. I love taking Star Wars completely, but also I don't go into the trenches too much on it because it is, at the end of the day, just storytelling passed down from generation to generations. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that there is a lot to say about the real world that should be taken seriously. Andor plays itself very straight.
Yeah.
Though, to be fair, Andor does have one of the new greatest Star Wars comedy moments.
What is that?
And that's Clea saying, "What?"
Oh, yeah. With that
to E.T.'s granny.
episode 10.
But regardless, at the same time, it's a space fantasy with a guy in a giant dog suit. It's something that I think you have to look at and say, okay, it's got a lot to say, but it's also fun.
Yeah, here's the thing. Here's the answer. It's why I say both. Is you need to bring it up no matter which way they come. If someone's not taking it seriously, you get to point to the moments of Star Wars or just the films and stories themselves that have influenced generations. You got to say no. This is the genre thing. Genre's always looked down upon. You always get pat on the head and going, oh, you like your cute little dwarves and everything. And then on the flip side, when I do see some folks who again, I don't want to say too seriously, but sometimes you just got to point out. As I had a former boss when I was working at Screen Junkies, I didn't work directly for him. He was in another department, and sometimes things would get really intense, and people would yell at each other, and we're stressed. And he would just pop his head out of his office and be like, "Folks, we're just making YouTube videos. We're not fighting a war. Everyone, calm down." And I think sometimes that's how I want to use Star Wars or say things to some Star Wars fans, like, "Hey,
that's a good point.
Release the pressure. Release the pressure."
Yeah,
this is not life and death, but at the same time, it can be because it's a lifeblood for some folks. That's the way I look at it.
That's the thing about art that's so fascinating. And
yep.
Which reminds me, I cannot wait for the Museum of Narrative Art to open in LA.
I did submit my press. Whatever. We'll see.
I like the idea of a museum dedicated to comic art.
I can't wait, man. I can't.
Something
I
that is
absolutely cannot wait.
traditionally looked down upon.
It is indeed. It is indeed. And I think that's part of what George is saying.
I think art has a lot of fun and a lot to say.
It absolutely does. So you and I are gonna have a lot to say when I stop by your show this Wednesday. I know it's not live, but people will get to hear it soon after. We're gonna have some fun. Yeah, some fun. Brennan, I appreciate you calling in. I apologize for my technical problems today. I hope you all can hear me.
I'll just say, watch DS9.
All right. Thank you, Brennan. Brennan calling in. Steve, do me a favor. I'm going to do one more time. I'm going to mute my...
Okay, so that's fine. I got you, because I'm glad you gave me this opportunity. I just saw the picture that you were referring to about the frog, the NASA frog, as we were calling it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, folks, I think he's okay. I'm going to pretend and hope, probably naively, that this frog, that he made it. Because you guys had me thinking that, like, you know how they have, like, that webcam, Ken, that, like, is, like, usually at the top of the rocket, and it's, like, the top view down, so you can see it launch, and you see it going all the way up. You guys had me thinking that, like, there was a frog just chilling, like, right underneath the camera, like, you know, holding on to the rocket going up into the atmosphere. I didn't realize he was just falling through the air. So he's fine. Those things can survive falls from who knows how tall. I think he's okay.
I need to hear this, Steve. I need to hear this. I wish people would. I think you all understand, but like, I hate when I see accidentally the videos, and they're too much on Instagram. And then once you see one for 1 second, it's in your algorithm of, did you watch this hawk pick up this deer? Isn't this awesome? Like, no, it's not awesome. I know how the food chain works. I know the circle of life, okay? I didn't see the movie, but I'll sing it. I know that when I eat a hamburger, some poor cow was slaughtered. I get it. But I can't look into the eyes of that deer as it's being carried off to its death, right, and not have nightmares for 5 days. It really affects me. And so that frog thing really got me. So it's a lot.
I go on emotional journeys when I watch stuff like Planet Earth or basically anything with Attenborough, like narrating. I'm always worried at some point that I'm good life lesson, kids. Don't root for prey animals. Just don't bother getting your head, like, don't bother getting your heart broken. Just, like, admire not prey animals as a kid growing up. You know, go think a little higher above the food chain. You won't get your heart hurt as much in those documentaries. Like, did you see that thing last year with, like, the lizard and all the snakes and everything? And it was, like, one of, like, the most crazy videos of, like, in like National Geographic history or whatever. And there's, like, thousands of snakes chasing this damn lizard on the Galapagos Islands. It gave me anxiety. It was like a horror movie.
I can't. No. Yeah. I hope I don't run into that. Like, and now I'm out here protecting skunks and protecting, and it's also weird too, because the squirrels are number one on the death chart. So I'm chasing cats out of the yard because, the cats are there, they're interloping, and then they got the skunk, and then I'm chasing the raccoons out of the yard to protect the skunk, but then I'll protect all of them because the coyotes. And the other day, I think I have 7:30. It's bright and sunny. I'm water. A coyote runs just like in the alley, like looking for food. And I'm like, I was like, cats, get in here. I'll protect you. Like it's just, what do you want from me? What do you want from me?
I'm telling you, yeah. Just do yourself a favor. Start rooting for higher up the food chain. Don't go low. That's only going to lead to heartbreak.
Or can I convince some coyotes to go vegan? It's just better for all of us at this point. And
coyotes? That's not going to.
And then someone said, "Well, we got to keep, this and that, and they kill the spiders, but the spiders did it. It is the circle of life." Like I said, I get it. But I've named my squirrels. They have lives to me. I'm connected.
Yeah. They doing okay? Right. The squirrels doing okay? Just
all 4 squirrels have checked in. This thing happens where Squirrely and Kylo in particular disappear for a bit, and at one point, Steve, I know you don't have to tell me, at one point it's gonna happen. They're not gonna come back. One of them, something's gonna, I don't know their lifespan. I don't know. There's the Burbank Coyotes. There's a lot. There's cars. People. I almost went out the other day and yelled at a car for driving too fast, and the reason was going to be squirrels, not kids.
Those little neon like janitorial signs that say children at play. We need to get you a squirrel shaped one.
2 houses down
My
from
squirrels
me.
live here.
2 houses down from me. There's a young family. They have a daughter, I don't know, 5 years old. She's sweet. Her name's Grace as well. She's always out playing in the front yard. One of the parents is always there watching, but she's just kind of, it's loosey goosey, and she might chase a ball in the street. I'm always like, don't do that. But like, I'm more worried about the squirrels.
Well, you'd hope Grace knows to look left or right before she goes in the street. The squirrels, they're just going to kind of act on instinct. You know?
There's been a couple times I've been nervous. I'm out for my walks and I see her play. I'm like, oh, no. What are you doing? Luckily, I'm not a busy side street, but I'm right next to one of the busiest intersections in the East Valley. So it's like people are always getting hit. Like pedestrians are always getting hit at that intersection. So there's always I worry about the squirrels.
Jeez.
All right. Let's reset here. This sounds, it is what it is tonight. The going in and out of StreamYard did not fix the problem like it did last week. So let's bring in Dr. Addy checking in here saying, I'll stop for a kid on the street. I'm not breaking for squirrels. I have almost been hit by the car behind me braking for squirrels. That's not even recent. That was like 10 years ago in Laurel Canyon. I almost got like hammered.
And that is exactly why I'm not breaking for the squirrels.
You got to protect life, Addy. You got to protect life. I don't kill a spider. I don't kill a bug. I'll stop my car.
I am a firm believer in Darwinism, Ken.
Yeah.
So no.
But that squirrel couldn't. Your car is not the squirrel's fault. That's man's fault.
It is the squirrel's fault for running out in front of a car.
It could be being chased by a skunk or a raccoon or a coyote.
We're not going to breed that inferior gene.
All right. This is very sciencey. Addy.
Only the strong survive, Ken.
Yeah, I know.
This is why I will not survive the apocalypse.
I am a Miami Dolphin fan. I have not survived for 25 years. I know. Don't you laugh, Steve. Addy, what is on your mind?
The rain delay is over. The tarp is off. We're playing ball. Let's go.
Oh, you're actually talking about a baseball game you're watching. I thought we were talking about the call. This is great. All right. Who's Tampa Bay playing tonight?
The Cleveland Guardians.
Okay. All right. Good luck to both those teams. How are they doing in the standings? What's Cleveland doing?
Cleveland is 1-8 in their last 9 games.
That's not good. Yankees are okay. What is on your mind today? What's the question?
Ken, I wanted to tell you a story that I was going to tell you on the 200th episode, but that was abruptly, sadly, we all know how that ended.
It might end the same tonight.
I was gonna tell you very quickly about my experience watching Andor with one of my Republican relatives.
All right, hit me.
So we are watching Andor. We did not even make it to season 2 yet. I don't know if he has finished in my absence, but we are watching the prison arc. He was enjoying it.
Okay.
We were watching the prison arc. We were watching Andor get sentenced to jail and all of the sentences getting extended and no real due process and all of that fun stuff. And he looked me square in the eye and seriously said, "I'm glad I don't live under the Empire."
See? Media literacy is a catchphrase. I know I get tired of saying it because it almost loses meaning when you keep repeating something like that. But that's part of the problem. This is part of and I'm not saying it's about one person having more intelligence than the other. I just think most people don't think about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it is just genre. It is just space stuff. And I mean, this isn't saying anything important. And that's, as Steve was saying earlier, that's where we gotta kind of make our battlefield or draw our lines is right there. It's getting the language out.
Yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
That's all I got, Ken. If I ship you the ingredients to make Skyline chili, will you make it and eat it on air?
You have to just ship me the actual Skyline chili. I don't know. I've never made chili in my life. What?
No. You have to make pasta to put it on.
So what is Skyline chili? Walk me through this. I know it came up before, but I am drawing a complete blank.
Skyline chili it's essentially it's a chili sauce would probably be the best way to describe it. You serve it on pasta with cheese and crackers, sometimes onions.
And we don't just call this fancy spaghetti?
I've never called it fancy spaghetti, but I guess it could be.
Okay.
You could call it spicy spaghetti.
What is the main event of the meal, the chili or the noodles?
It's both. It's the combination of the chili with the noodles.
Yes.
And Steve, you like Skyline chili?
No. I'm a Reds fan. I don't like Skyline chili. As an Italian American, I think Skyline chili is a bit of an affront to the noodle, but hey, you do you.
I mean, you can also put it on a dog, Steve. Would you eat it on a dog?
I hate hot dogs.
Cheese coney.
Conies are good. I hate hot dogs.
Okay. A hot dog. I thought you were talking about an actual dog. It's like, now we're getting really dark. We're killing squirrels and we're serving up dogs. I mean, look, I want to try this. This sounds pretty good. So
it is Cincinnati chili, Laser. It's Skyline chili.
Yeah, Cincinnati chili. Oh, I see. That's why. Okay, that's where we're at. Okay. Yeah. All right. I won't be able to make it unless I can get a can.
Oh no, it comes in a can.
No, you just got to put some pasta on. Well, I can get a can of chili.
That's not Skyline chili, though.
Why?
Skyline chili has a very distinct flavor because it has both cocoa and cinnamon in it.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that absolute abomination of an idea. Okay, yeah. All right. I don't know about that. Don't
knock it till you try it.
I've said that many times in my life, and I've had that said to me many times in my life, and every time it's got worked out well. So yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you here. Here's what I'm bringing up Chili John's menu again, and just seeing if they have Skyline chili, and it doesn't look. No, there's no hope for that. Okay.
Skyline is its own brand. Like you can go to a Skyline chili restaurant.
There's a whole restaurant for this?
Yes.
Okay. Laserball says a hint of cinnamon. All right, like I said, I am willing to try it.
What if I also mail you a sourdough?
I got sourdough right here at Ralph's. What are you talking about?
Homemade
the sourdough you made sourdough? Oh yeah, absolutely. I see. Yeah, see, this is where the don't knock it till you try it could hurt. Kingsport cows like pig's feet. Yeah, I know. I'm not the Hound. That's one of the worst scenes in Game of Thrones. Forget all the violence. The sex crimes in Game of Thrones. It's the Hound eating pig's feet raw.
I just watched that the other day.
Yeah, right. Tully says Pittsburgh literally kicked Skyline out of the city. Is this true?
I don't know, but I have no idea. I don't know what they do in Pittsburgh. Never been there.
No one does. No one does.
But I will support you in your anti-DS9 stance. That's all I've got.
That's all you got? I appreciate the support. It's just, I'll get there. I'll get the Wicked, too.
Yeah, as I told him in chat, if you're not going to listen to the play...
What's that, Steve?
I said, don't overpromise anything. You stop while you're ahead. Don't lie to her and say you're going to get the Wicked.
I'll tell you what, better chance getting to Wicked because it's 1 2-hour investment.
Till the second one comes out.
All right, 5-hour investment?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. All right, that'll work. Steve,
Yep, I got you.
There we go.
Yes, sounded like I was plugging into a AOL machine. All right.
Yeah, nobody call Ken. If you call Ken, he's gonna get kicked off the internet. So just
the line is busy.
The line is busy. But Mom has to make a phone call.
There you go, Addie. I appreciate that call. And I'm game for the Skyline chili. I am game for it.
Okay.
All right. There we go. All right. Addie called in. Steve, I think we're playing with house money, and we should probably pack up here because it's just getting worse and worse. I wanted to talk a little bit about Roger Clemens, MAGA Roger Clemens, and his son, also I'm sure MAGA, going golfing with the false prophet. Who then I did want to get this statement out here. I apologize if you guys can't read me or hear me. The false prophet said, "Oh boy." I played golf yesterday with the great Roger Clemens and his son Casey. Roger Clemens, easily one of the greatest pitchers of all time. He gives some stats. He played 6 World Series, winning 2. He was second to Nolan Ryan in most strikeouts. He should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. All caps, now. It talks about him not that there was nothing proven about the drugs. It was an erroneous charge, and then he wants him forced into the Hall of Fame. Steve, the only proof you need is Roger Clemens' neck from 1997 on.
Yeah, 90. I was gonna say, yeah, or late 90s on. It was pretty obvious. That's like saying Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire were all natural too. You could just see the body changes. Yeah, this is typical Trump. He hangs out with someone. They schmooze. They do all that, and then all of a sudden, this is the greatest person in the world. Go buy their Goya beans, get him in the Hall of Fame, whatever it is, right? So. Yeah, this is par for the course. We saw this with. Even Pete Rose, the whole thing that happened. It's just. Look what he wants to talk about literally anything than like governing the country efficiently. So, yeah.
And the difference is, putting Pete Rose on the ballot is different than forcing some player in, which is what he's trying to do.
Well, of course. So. Right. But it's still forcing the hand. It's still putting his nose into something. This all comes back to me, Ken, is he got told no by the NFL in the 1980s and trying to buy an NFL team. And the USFL was a total joke. And I think ever since then, he has just had a vendetta against all the sports billionaires because A, they have more money than he does, and B, they're in the club one of the few clubs that he was never allowed in. And so I think that's part of the reason why he has a lot of these strong opinions on the sports league, specifically the NFL.
USFL could have been something, but he absolutely ruined it. It's all his fault. That was the preview of what was to come. It's all there. Jeff Perlman's book. Football for $1. All right, we are out of here. I can barely hear. We have reached the end. I will work on that.
It's all right, folks. We're gonna do some surgery on Ken's computer. We're gonna diagnose. We're gonna get things all fixed up so that hopefully things sound good for Thursday. But thank you everyone for hanging out. Thanks everyone for being here.
Yeah.
Ken, you want to take us away?
Yeah, well, I'm also...
Let's try.
Sorry. To my music. Aha. This is worse than a cable. This is the piece of broadcasting equipment that is the only thing I make money.
We're gonna take a look. We're gonna diagnose some things, and producer Steve's gonna help. So
love it.
Let's see what we can do.
You guys can't even hear the music because it's not even playing. That's fun. All right. We'll see y'all. Bye-bye.